Oz, it's English Wine Week. It's coming up. It's the time to celebrate. And we're here at the Pig near Bath. I've got a pizza oven kicking off over here. Breakfast service is just finishing in the beautiful restaurant behind me. There's no more perfect a spot to talk English wine.
And he's Tom, and I'm Oz.
So Oz, when is English Wine Week?
It's June the 20th.
Yes.
One weekend.
Yep.
To June the 28th. Another weekend.
1 week, 2 weekends.
That means you've got
like
9 days, and the whole objective of these 9 days is drink English wine. Every single person in this wonderful country of ours should make it their objective at least once in English Wine Week to drink English wine. And what I would say is, if you've got one, drink your local English wine. And if you've got a vineyard, go to your local vineyard, visit your local vineyard, take ownership of English wine. Nearly everybody in the south of England has got a vineyard within easy reach. And in fact, south of England, Yorkshire's got 25 vineyards. They've got a vineyard route. So anyone in Yorkshire say, I'm going to visit my local vineyard this week, and I'm going to have a glass of local wine.
Exactly that.
Yeah, but that's
do
true,
that. And do the accent sort of wherever you are. I think it can't hurt.
Well, be careful.
I think excitingly, celebrate your local English wine scene, but I think it's quite exciting to be able to get out there and move around. And we live in this amazing country that has really now quite diverse winemaking. We're about to taste 3 of these things. I'm going to get into one of them. We've only got one fizz. We're going to do a rosé with some really beautiful colour. We're in multiple counties, only one of which 15 years ago would have been kind of talked about as being a winemaking county. That's Kent, that we're going to get to. Yeah. But we're going to start off nowhere really near there, Oz. Where are we starting?
Berkshire.
There we go.
People say Berkshire. That's the suburbs, isn't it? That's sort of Windsor if you're lucky, Reading if you're lucky, and you think, oh, that's sort of just on the edge of the commuter edge of London. West Berkshire is just fantastic.
Look at that foam.
West Berkshire is right next to Wiltshire. You go out to places like Newbury, out on that side there, you are just edging onto those wonderful wild high Wiltshire downs. And there you're high, you're exposed, you are miles away from urban life. And that's exactly where this one is.
Now, full disclosure, Oz and I shared a bottle of this literally last week, and it's number 36 from a very lovely producer called All Angels. And All Angels talk about number 36 as being the simple opening gambit. And actually, I think
every
both
day
of us,
they call it
the everyday wine. And both of us agree, yeah, you should absolutely have this every day. That would be a very, very nice thing. But it's a lot more complex than that. I'm going to say it, it's my favourite of their range at the moment. I just think this is so expressive. And I think there's a simplicity to this wine, but that is exclusively based around it's joyful, it's delicious, it's lower pressure, it's cremonty, it's got that amazing foamy, rich viscosity to it.
And why?
Because it's fermented to a lower bar.
Yes.
It's got a little bit more residual sugar than some of the others that were in the dosage.
And
it's got a load of Chardonnay in it.
All right.
What are you leaning into? Where are you going with this?
6 years on the leaf.
I see what you're going
6 years.
with. Okay,
this one has been sitting in the cellar with those lovely yeast leaves gradually dissolving into gorgeous, creamy, biscuity shapes for 6 years. Now, 2 or 3 years isn't bad. 4 years is better. 5 or 6. 6 is fantastic. And look at the colour,
but
so fresh.
The combination of that is brave, long lees aging, bready, brioche, toasty, and beautiful croissanty softness. And not high acid, not high attack. This lovely, generous mouthfeel. It's a wine before it's a sparkling wine. Yeah. It's super delicious. I think it's absolutely lovely. Perfect.
Number 36, why?
Number 36. Well, there's a chap called Elgar, isn't there? And he got along he had an Opus number 36.
Opus number 36. Yeah. Now, on the whole with Elgar, the tunes we all know, we immediately dash back and think, have I got a Union Jack in the house so I can start waving the flag?
Not a day goes by.
Not the number 36. The 36 is the Enigma Variations. Now, I thought, don't worry, I'll just warm my voice up and I'll sing you the Enigma Variation. I tried to learn it. It's a very mournful G minor theme for those of you who are musicians. You can't sing it. But by the way, there are two themes in the Enigma Variations. The second theme is silent and is never played. Now, Is that enigmatic or what?
I like it.
Anyway.
And this is All Angels equivalent. This is their Enigma variation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Right, Oz, I think we're going to get rid of these. We're going to throw it over this way, chuck it in the mint. That's the way to go.
That mint bush. We're going to come back to the pig near Bath in a few weeks' time, and the mint bush is going to be twice the size of the others.
Look at it, it's happy, having the time of its life. Now, Oz, I'm going to take you to Lyme Regis via the Crouch. Here's how we're going to go with this, okay? So this is the very lovely Lyme Bay Chardonnay, limited release, 2019 vintage. And it's made down there, but it is grown very openly, excitingly, celebratorily in vineyards across the Crouch Valley in Essex. Super rich, really beautifully ripened fruit, even in a vintage like 19, which was nice and warm, but suddenly stopped.
Yeah, in 19 we had a fantastic summer, and about September the 5th it started raining. We thought, okay, it'll be fine by the weekend. And on about November the 5th we were saying, sorry, when's the sun going to come? 100%. It rained for about 8 weeks. But interestingly enough, it means that wines from the 2019 vintage were nicely ripened by the summer, and then they didn't quite finish off their ripening. They made superb sparkling wines. It means this Chardonnay is leaner and brighter and sharper than, say, the 2018 or the 2020, both of which had a hot summer and a hot autumn. Isn't it wonderful that we can talk about these vintage differences in English wine nowadays?
And I imagine that Lyme Bay have chosen to hold on to this for a little bit because it's now got this wonderful maturity to it. It's a fresh, low alcohol, 11.5% ABV, perfect lunchtime kind of wine. And it's got this absolute tension and concentration and lemon, lifted quality.
Lifted lemon?
But right in the middle, from the age and from the oak element, there's a small amount of oak. And if you're put off by oak, don't be put off. It's not smoky, toasty. It's rich, it's soft, it's maturity. But what that's all given it is it's given this incredible sort of sourdough smeared with a little bit of salted butter kind of quality to it, you know?
Absolutely, really because the 6 or 7 years that it's had hanging around has softened the whole thing out. So it's a brilliant seafood wine, by the way.
Great.
If you think things like French Chablis are starting to feel too ripe and too soft in the mouth, hey, come to English Chardonnay. Fabulous stuff. By the way, the 2024 vintage, which we remember that was a pretty poor summer, the Chardonnays all the way across the country are wonderfully fresh and bright and exciting. Just let's mention Lyme Bay for a moment, because Lyme Bay is down between Lyme Regis and Budleigh Salterton, right down on the coast down there, Devon, Dorset coast. It's a few miles inland, 2 miles inland probably, from Seaton, which is a nice old-fashioned resort down there, where I learnt to swim.
There you go.
I learnt to swim in several places, but that was one of them. I learnt to swim in several places because I always used to get a Knickerbocker glory as a reward for learning how to swim. So you can imagine I learnt about once a week. But the point about these people is that they realised that the local grape varieties that were growing there were not going to make great wine. And they were one of the first wineries who thought Essex is the driest county in England. Essex, therefore, has the longest period when the vines can just hold their fruit, hang the bunches of fruit right the way through September, right the way through October. I've been up in the Crouch Valley in Essex in November and seen perfectly, beautifully healthy, ripe bunches of grapes just being picked. So several other very famous wineries, by the way, use Essex fruit and have done for donkey's years because they know it's some of the best fruit in England. Isn't it amazing? We're talking about Essex.
Beautiful.
Essex's reputation has not been high. Well, thank the Crouch Valley, it's now shooting up as one of the great vineyard areas of England.
And as you've rightly told me in the past, and I know it's a big thing for you, if you're looking for Chablis, if you're looking for the seafood wines, as you mentioned, if you're looking for crisp, clean, purity, zest, that's harder and harder to find as the world warms up. Those wines, the classic regions in France, they're getting warmer, they're getting richer, it's becoming more Burgundian in that sense. Here's where that is today. That's absolutely it.
Absolutely right.
Right, come on, the mint gets it.
I can smell the mint now.
I know, exactly, it's coming at you.
Oh, this looks nice.
Now here we go, we're going pink. And it's a beautiful pink, isn't it?
I was thinking about these wonderful pinks. It's a little bit like sort of Provence kind of, or coral. I wonder whether the reason it's so lovely is because you swirl it and it's as though there's a tiny flicker of mother of pearl.
Hello, exactly.
Giving that tiny blue glint to it. I think that is just a delightful colour. Now, where are we this time?
Now we're in Kent, actually. So we're here, Cobham House, and Cobham is the local bit, isn't it? It's close to Cobham Village. This is a rosé made by, I mean, arguably one of England's most famous, most revered winemakers, Emma Rice. She's incredible. Known particularly for her fizz, but this is her turning her hand to, very successfully, still rosé.
And you smell it. There's a tremendous burst of fruit on that nose.
And it's Provençal, it's inviting, it's stone fruits, it's peaches, it's loads of berries, but it's got this tension, it's electricity, you know it's going to be fresh.
One of the reasons, the grapes are different. Now, this is really unusual. This is made from the Gamay grape, and the Gamay grape is the grape that makes Beaujolais in France. Take it further north, it's cooler, it doesn't ripen so quickly, it keeps a fantastic freshness. And these Cobham the Cobham House vineyards, by the way, they're on the side of the Medway almost. I go down on the train to watch Gillingham Football Club, and I can virtually see them. For years I've been saying, when's someone going to plant those wonderful slopes? Well, they have planted the wonderful slopes. And Cobham is where Dickens used to walk around Cobham when he was a young man. He used to live down there. Pickwick Papers, the local pub at Cobham.
Yes!
The Leather Bottle is where Tracy Tupman in Pickwick Papers used to hang out. So it's a fabulous old-fashioned village. But this is a very mixture. Well, it's interesting. The Sengupta family who own this, it's wonderfully ancient and modern. 4 generations of the family are all involved in this.
All working together, all coming together to create something.
Yeah, and Billy Sengupta's the guy who's really behind this brand, and he used to be a luxury tequila man. He's still involved with taco bars and things, but he's just gone after. His family went to near Champagne and lived 35 years ago. They suddenly all upped and went and lived near the Champagne region. Came back with this idea: one day I'm going to have a vineyard and a wine, and he's done it. And by the way, also the nice thing about them is they're very keen on sort of giving ethnic minority groups a chance to get into the wine business. They have a Plumpton College scholarship, which I think it's called the Cobham House Scholarship. Yeah. Really important to help say, come on, it's an inclusive world. The English wine world is not exclusive; it's inclusive. Everyone is welcome.
I think it's a really important thing. What's so cool, I think, about this is the power, the intensity, the bold flavour to it. And in part, what that is there's 26% of this is aged in old ruby port barrels. God, so you pick up a load of that brightness, that boldness. Now look, that is a little tour of English wine. It's a tour of English wine that we couldn't have done 15 years ago. In another 5 years, imagine where we're going to be. Yeah. It's the most exciting wine region on planet Earth. And in English Wine Week, go and get stuck into it.
England.
Cheers.
England, the newest new world wine nation. England. Isn't it good?
It's very good.
It's good.
Come on. This is just one of our Wine Alive Summer Sipping Series videos with Oz Clarke and me, Tom Surgey. If you'd like to know more about the wines we've tasted, head over to our blog at wine-alive.com and check out our other videos. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And thanks again for watching. We hope you sip splendidly this summer.